When preparing for a job interview, it's not enough to polish your resume or dress for success. Today's hiring managers want more than a list of qualifications. They want to understand how you think, how you lead, how you respond under pressure, and how you solve real problems. That's why behavioral interview questions have become such a powerful tool in hiring. These questions help employers see how you've acted in specific situations in the past, because research shows that past behavior is one of the strongest predictors of future performance. Whether you're transitioning to a new career, stepping into leadership, or returning to the workforce after a break, learning how to answer behavioral interview questions effectively can set you apart. In this video, we'll break down why these questions matter, what employers are truly looking for, and how to prepare using evidence-based methods like the STAR format. I'll also share practical examples you can start using right away. Let's start with why employers rely so heavily on situational-based interview techniques. Why employers use behavioral questions. Traditional interviews often ask general questions like, "Are you good under pressure?" But behavioral interviews go deeper. Instead of asking if you work well under pressure, the interviewer might say, "Tell me about a time you were under tight deadlines. How did you handle it?" This allows them to observe your approach to problem solving, resilience, communication, and emotional intelligence. According to a study published in the Journal of Occupational and Organizational Psychology, structured behavioral interviews lead to significantly more accurate hiring decisions compared to unstructured interviews. That's because they produce concrete evidence, real examples of how your skills show up in action. How to answer? Using the STAR method. One of the most effective and research-backed strategies for answering these questions is the STAR method. STAR stands for Situation, set the stage, and give brief context. Task, explain your role or responsibility. Action, describe the specific steps you took. Result, share the outcome and what you learned. This framework helps you stay focused while delivering a story the interviewer can easily follow. Here's a quick example. If you're asked, "Tell me about a time you resolved a conflict within a team," your STAR answer might sound like this. Situation, in my previous role as a project coordinator, 2 team members disagreed over overlapping responsibilities during a product launch. Task, as the project lead, it was my responsibility to maintain team alignment. Action, I set up a mediated discussion, clarified responsibilities, reassigned tasks, and checked in individually afterward. Result, tensions eased, communication improved, and the project launched on schedule. One team member even thanked me later for facilitating the conversation. Clear, concrete, and memorable. Common behavioral interview themes. Most behavioral questions fall into a few major categories. Let's walk through the biggest ones and what hiring managers are looking for in each: teamwork and conflict resolution. Example question. Tell me about a time you worked with someone who had a very different working style from yours. What employers want to know is, can you collaborate? Can you navigate conflict? Do you maintain professionalism even when personalities clash? Choose a story that ends with a collaborative win, something that shows emotional intelligence and adaptability. Communication skills. According to LinkedIn's Global Talent Trends report, communication continues to be the #1 soft skill employers seek. A common prompt might be, describe a time when you had to explain a complex idea to someone outside your field. Use STAR to show how you simplified your message, used analogies, or created visuals. This demonstrates clarity, empathy, and influence, time management, and prioritization. In fast-paced environments, you may hear, "Give me an example of a time you had competing priorities. How did you manage them?" This is your chance to show how you stay organized, delegate, block focus time, or communicate proactively with stakeholders. Adaptability. Today's workplaces change rapidly. You may be asked, "Tell me about a time you had to adjust to a major change at work." Pick a story where you stayed solution-oriented, helped others adapt, or found improvement opportunities. Employers want to see resilience, not resistance. Leadership and initiative. Even if you're not applying for a leadership role, hiring managers want people who take ownership. Example, Question. Describe a time you took initiative to solve a problem without being asked. Here, share a moment when you stepped up, created a process, improved a system, or prevented a problem before it escalated. Creativity and problem solving. These questions reveal whether you can think outside the box. For instance, tell me about a time you developed an innovative solution to a challenging problem. Choose a story that showcases creativity, resourcefulness, and curiosity, handling mistakes and failure. Many candidates fear this question. Describe a time you failed. What did you learn from it? But this is one of the best opportunities to show self-awareness, accountability, and growth. Choose a failure that led to meaningful improvement, cultural fit, values, and motivation. Some questions explore what drives you. For example, what's your proudest professional accomplishment? Your answer should reflect your core values: teamwork, integrity, creativity, or impact, not just metrics. Red flags to avoid. Even strong stories can fall apart if you blame others, speak negatively about former coworkers, ramble or get off track, give vague or generic answers, miss the point of the question. Stick to STAR and stay focused. How to prepare for behavioral interview. Questions. Here are practical steps you can take to prepare well. 1. Analyze the job description. Highlight recurring skills like leadership, collaboration, or initiative, and think of stories that demonstrate each. 2. Build a story bank. Write down 5 to 7 career experiences that showcase your strengths. Apply STAR to each. 3. Practice out loud. Clarity matters more than memorization. Aim for a natural conversational tone. 4. Record yourself. Video or audio helps you evaluate your pacing, clarity, and filler words. 5. Focus on lessons and outcomes. Interviewers care just as much about what you learned as what happened. Behavioral interview questions are not trick questions. They're opportunities to highlight your growth, your leadership, your decision-making, your character. You already have the stories. You've lived the experiences. The key is organizing them with clarity and delivering them with confidence. So the next time an interviewer asks, "Tell me about a time," remember, this is your moment to stand out. Grab my free leadership workbook, 5 Steps to Communicate with Calm, Clarity, and Confidence, at powerofpeacefulness.com. Until next time, take a deep breath, embrace the present moment, and keep walking your path to peace.